as a country. We know there are challenges for coffee producers. The primary producers have got challenges. But let's discuss the challenges with the ICO, with the ICA, while we are members of those organizations. I gave the example of the UN. Africa is clamoring for a permanent position on the Security Council. But African countries haven't walked out of the UN simply because we are not permanent members of the Security Council. Similarly, we need to stay as members of these coffee organizations where they are, because we are some of the biggest producers of the crop in the world. And as we look for solutions to the challenges we face, especially the problems of value addition, we need to clamor for better conditions when we are members of the ICO and other coffee organizations. I think there is a lot to lose when we shun membership of the ICO than the advantages we shall realize when we walk out. So we urge UCDA to reinstate our membership in the ICO, and we're engaging all the stakeholders, we're engaging the government, we're engaging the members of parliament. It's important because when we walk out of the ICO, it might result in making the coffee business more expensive. As the exporters look for licenses everywhere they export the coffee, the price for them will go down. And that will translate into lower coffees for the primary producers. So we urge the UCDA to reinstate our membership in the ICO for the good of the coffee producers.
Honorable Nandala, I need you to first respond to that, the words of the Katikiro, before we come to Dr. Muhumuza.
Yeah, the Katikiro, I think, he needs to really study coffee issues. First of all, ISO is not a regulator, is not a marketing body. It's not. Therefore, for us, our regulator like now, UCDA, is on quality, and at the moment our coffee is a good product, it will fetch the market. And the testing is capping. Every organization which buys coffee, it does capping. And if it does capping and discover the coffee is good, it's good. For me, I know coffee sometimes there's a fluctuation of prices. But nobody should cut his tree. Instead, we should plant the prices of coffee. You will never go wrong. That investment, as when you have done at the initial stage, it will remain something you pick money every year. So for me, what Katikre is saying, he may not have understood it better. He should have gone back to understand what does ISO do. I have read it. What do we lose? They don't buy our coffee anyway. They don't set prices. In fact, the prices are set by us, and that's why you have seen fair trade coming in and talking about organic coffee. Even that is also, we're doing it wrongly, because every coffee in Uganda more or less is organic. But because they say you need to get certification, maybe you can ask the government of Uganda to make every farmer certified. So I can assure him that the ISO, we are losing nothing. It is in short, we are losing our money in membership, and Uganda is going there to attend shows, sit and waste public money.
Dr. Emmanuel, your response to what you had the Katikiro say?
I have maximum respect for the Katikiro, but I hasten to add, we had a similar situation with the Coffee Bill 2018. And unfortunately, history can tell. So let's first read, internalize, know the issues. He's referring to the days of Coffee Marketing Board when we had quotas. I explained quotas collapsed in 2018, it's a free market, and therefore ICO has no role in marketing or regulatory function. And I can assure you, and I assure all the buyers and traders of Ugandan coffee that coffee exports production will continue with or without ICO.
Okay. Dr. Muhumuza, do you think Uganda has capacity, minus the big players in the market, in the industry, like the ICO that we are talking about, to go it alone?
I think it looks like we more or less were on our own as far as the basics are concerned. in terms of production, in terms of selling, because when you hear their role, it wasn't so much into the spaces that we need to hand ourselves. The benefits don't seem to have been that significant to be worried. But of course, you'd expect that the moment you have an association where both consumers and producers are, you've lost it, because you have conflicting interests in there. If it was only producers, then you would say, now we are trying to protect either the price or something against the other party. So like the oil petroleum countries, for them they have theirs where they are producers, and they can decide and say we are going to hold on to quantities so that the price can go up. But when you have also the consumers in the same club, and the consumers are bigger by way of technology, by way of economies, by way of so they are the consumers. Quite often in economics we say the customer or the consumer is the king. Now you already begin to see that the formation of that group was undermined itself. But also they have indicated it began as an American interest formed by America, which is a major consumer of coffee from South America. So you can already see it was a consumer inclined association, and we were not bound to benefit so much from it. That said, we now need to begin to say, how do we move forward? What should be our strategy? Because we don't seem to have picked up many of our gains here. Here the projects were very small. We could have possibly even gained more by having bilateral conversations. You want to say the Italians, you buy the bulk of our coffee. How can we negotiate with you? We all know the UN. It has all those member countries, but a lot of things in the UN are won at bilateral relations. Uganda goes and lobbies the England and the UK, and you get it. So I think we need to focus more on lining up our interests, and then deal with those we deal with. Not everybody buys Ugandan coffee to substantial levels for us to get worried. I was looking through the figures. You're looking at Italy, you're looking at Germany. We have countries even like Algeria, Egypt, Morocco. Why don't you narrow down and have a conversation with those and lay your strategy on how do you support your farmers? There is certainly room for us to do research and development, as indicated earlier.